Hey everybody, this is Andrew here with the Tower Electric Bike Repair Shop, and today we are going to be talking about locks and keeping your e-bike safe from anyone taking it. So, one of the things I always like to preface when we're talking about security is no matter what you put on your bike, if you give someone enough opportunity, they can get through no matter what you put on your bike. The biggest lesson when it comes to security is do not give thieves the opportunity. I've worked in a lot of bike shops. One of them I've worked for a long time was next to a college campus. I would get people stolen bike parts and bikes absolutely all the time. And the number one thing they all had in common, it was always, well, yeah, I left my bike, locked on campus for a couple days or a couple weeks. You should never, ever, ever leave your bike unattended, even if it's locked up for multiple days. That's just period. With the avenue of, handheld electric power tools, thieves, if you give them enough time, overnight, they will get through any lock. But today we're going to be talking about what locks are best and how to best lock up your bike. So we're going to swing right over here to my handy dandy table where you can see I've got quite a few locks on the table here. So I will always start off with the handy dandy basic U-lock. Now, U-locks are always one of my favorites. U-locks, in my opinion, is the bare minimum of what you should have for your electric bike. Because a U-lock is heavy duty, it's strong, and the tools required to break one of these bad boys are pretty intense tools. So usually having a U-lock, most people will see this and they'll stay away from your bike. However, the one drawback to the U-locks, in my opinion, is you can only lock it through so much of your bike. Like if we look here, for example, we can only potentially lock this rear wheel and frame, leaving bunches of components on this bicycle, unsecured. Which does bring me to my next point of having, a nice big long cable lock. And you can see this particular cable lock, it's got some nice thick gauge to it. Now, I know a lot of people when looking to shop for locks, especially cable locks, you'll be tempted by those really small, inexpensive ones that are like 15 to 30 bucks. You're thinking, oh, this is great. I can string it through a lot of my bike. Then I can just wrap it here on my handlebars and it's easy to access. Stay far away from any sort of coil cable lock, especially on an electric bicycle. Those particular locks are super easy to get through. I myself, we have little cable cutters here that we use for cutting cables and housing on bikes. Literally just something like that fits in my back pocket is enough to snip through one of those. And you better believe that thieves are gonna have something like that. If that is all that's supporting your bike, someone will just walk up, snip that cable, and walk off with your bike. So if you're gonna go with the cable lock, go with something nice and thick like this. Now, that brings me to my next point. My preferred method is to get a nice U-lock cable combo. Now these U-lock cable combos, you're gonna get the best of both worlds. Because one, this cable is a really thick gauge like the previous one, and two, you have that security of the U-lock. So what you can do with this is you typically will use the U-lock to clamp here with your wheel and frame to whatever, post or bike rack you're locking it to, but then you take this cable and you string that through as much of your bike as you can. Because again, if your bike is locked up, thieves will take whatever is not locked down. I've seen a bunch of the times where people, had a U-lock here on the tail end, but their front was left unsecured, and they had a quick release on the front, thief walked up, popped their front wheel off, and walked away with it. Now customers looking at, 60 to 100 bucks for a whole new front setup. So that is why I strongly recommend these U-lock cable combos, because really, you do get the best of both worlds of the U-lock and the cable. And another interesting style of lock that's become popular is one of these. So this particular one is made by ebikes. Kryptonite also makes one. Now, how these are cool is, it's again, similar to the U-lock cable combo, you're getting kind of the best of both worlds because you're getting the sturdiness and security of a U-lock, but you're also getting the ease of access and looping through of a cable. Now, how this works is you can see this kind of unwinds and it has all of these interlocking steel bars here. So now this one in particular is a smaller one, so you wouldn't be able to loop through a whole lot, but they do make these in bunches and bunches of different sizes. These are very, very sturdy, very strong. I'd say the one negative to them is you find yourself wanting to, bend them around like it was just a, cable, but they are interlocking pieces, so you are a little bit limited with how much you can bend and rotate these. There are a lot of great products out there. Like I said, the number one thing when it comes to security on your e-bike is do not give people the opportunity to steal. Obviously, you're on a ride, you want to swing, get some coffee, get some donuts, ride to your local grocery store or something. So, sometimes it is unavoidable and you do have to lock up your bikes. So in that situation, in my opinion, a U-lock is the bare minimum. A U-lock cable combo is really going to be one of your best options. So thanks for joining us. I hope you have a great day.